I appreciate. Hi. Come on, where are we? There we are. Hi there, it's me, Blind Spiral. Appreciate everybody coming out and watching this. This is super impromptu and unexpected, so, but I just really wanted to get the information out about our next coming tournament, and I'm really excited about it after listening to a lot of the feedback that our feedback team put together and from talking to many, many people through some direct messages and all that fun stuff. And then I had a bit of in my head, a breakthrough yesterday, and it just all kind of came together and fell together. And so I wanted to kind of get that information out as quickly as possible. So here we are. Again, appreciate everybody joining us here to take a peek, either if you're watching this on our YouTube channel or on our Twitch channel. I've got this scene made, not the sexiest thing in the world, but it's our information. So for those of you that have played in our tournament before, this is extremely similar, an extremely similar rule set to our first two that we've had so far that have gone super well so far. But there are some slight changes, so we're going to kind of go line by line with this together. So, and we'll make this pretty brief as well. First things first, again, we're not associated with behavior whatsoever. This is just kind of on a whim here that we're doing at New Generations Gaming. These rules are going to go ahead and govern the tournament. If there's anything in here that does not specifically discuss that comes up, it will be at the discretion of the admins, which is pretty much mostly me. Tournament this time is going to take place June 26th and 27th. Are those the right days? Those are the right days. How rough would that be? Especially doing this live, right? 26th and 27th, yeah. So 26th and 27th is Saturday and Sunday. It's the last Saturday and Sunday in June. There will be a captain's meeting on June 26th at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time to go over everything. And captains do need to be there, and they can choose someone to replace if necessary. Games will begin at the same exact time as they have in our last two tournaments, 12 p.m. Eastern time, and continue the following Sunday, the June 27th at 12 p.m. Eastern time as well. As we look through the different rules, there's now a format section. So we're not sure how things are going to go depending on teams signing up and this and that. So we're going to have one of three different types of tournaments. So option A is a 16-team single elimination bracket. The semifinals and finals will be a best of three, and the semifinals and finals will be played on Sunday, with the first two rounds being played on the Saturday. We'll hold on to some reserve teams in case there's anybody that drops out. If we get less than 16 teams to sign up, but there are 12 or more teams that do sign up, we will have a 12-team group stage. And what's going to happen is we'll split all 12 teams randomly on stream into four different groups of three. And then each team in that group will play each other, Survivor and Killer, and the top team from each group will move on to the semifinals, which will be a best of three, and then the finals will be a best of three as well. If less than 12 teams sign up, then we will cap it at 8, and we will have an 8-team double elimination tournament. I would expect us to get close to 16. I think that we'll end up doing the single elimination bracket, but we've kind of had it where a random team has gotten a free bye or a free win, even though it was done randomly, and we just don't want to do that anymore. So we're going to kind of cap it accordingly, and then we'll announce the information on when we're doing that on Thursday, June 24th. Okay, we have changed up how we're doing scoring again. This is pretty standard from what I understand from our feedback team. Every single generator completed for the survivors is worth 2 points, and every single hook that is not attained that they are able to avoid is worth 1 point. I guess there are other tournaments that are doing it where if the survivor escapes without being hooked once, it's 3 points. If they've only hooked once, it's 2 points. If they got hooked twice, it's 1 point. It's the exact same thing here. It's the exact same type of points. It's just however many hooks you avoid or how many points you can get. So you can get 22 points total. I don't want to do that. I want to do this. I don't want to do that either. We'll do it without the music. It's okay. For the killers, the first hook state for survivors worth 2 points. If they enter the second hook state, it's worth another 2 points. And if they are killed with the third hook state, it is 1 point. So that is not 16 points for the killer. Look at me. Numbers are hard. There's 4 survivors. It's 20 points for the killer. So excuse that typo there. Special circumstances, the same as before. Any types of those things will be worth points for kills, whether it's ranker, a pyramid head, cage, all that good stuff as well. For the endgame collapse, if a survivor is killed in the endgame collapse, it will give the killer a kill. If a survivor is killed in the endgame collapse, it will give the killer hook states as well. If a survivor is killed from bleeding out, it does not give any points to the killer. So some strategy if you're down on the ground, and you can try to hide as much as you can. We talked about the sportsmanship. That's normal. The rules are the same exact as before. The only perk in the entire game that's banned is Object of Obsession. All offerings are banned, and you cannot have duplicate perks as survivors, except you can have 2 borrowed times. Every other perk needs to be unique. So that means there'll be 14 unique perks in the game. I guess 15 unique perks in the game with a duplicate borrowed time there, and then 14 others. One of each item for the survivors, yellow or below, will be brought. So that's a one flashlight, 1 toolbox, 1 med kit, and 1 firecracker. No add-ons for any of those items. And no duplicate survivors. Killer restrictions. This is the big one that I'm super excited about. We'll talk about it at the very end, but it's going to be based on spending blood points, as we'll talk about again in a moment. And the killer restrictions have changed as well. If you break any of these rules here, it's an automatic loss of 4 points. The map groups are going to be announced. I think we're just going to announcing maps that will be played in each stage prior to the tournament beginning. The map groups has been fun. I really enjoyed the picks and bans process of that. But we are going to switch it to where it is just a map is announced and saying we're playing this map in this round, we are playing that map in this round. That's just how it's going to go for simplicity and to kind of keep things moving along pretty well. Our prizes are it's going to be $100 cash immediately sent over. Autistic Gaming got theirs immediately after the tournament was won by them in the first tournament. Saloti got theirs immediately afterward, even though it was a process to try to get the money for them. It was a painful one with PayPal and all that fun stuff, but we were able to get that to them as well. And New Generations Gaming will send that over pretty much immediately. Killer add-ons. So I'm a big fan of killer diversity. I don't want to see a Wraith or a Spirit. Excuse me. Oh my God, a Wraith or a Spirit every game. A Spirit or a Nurse every game, but I also want teams to be able to make decisions for themselves. So here are the different add-ons that killers are able to use. Can I get this all on one screen? Nemesis to be determined, because Nemesis will be out in time, so we'll leave it right here for now. A lot of killers have no restrictions on what add-ons they can use. The Trapper, the Wraith, the Hillbilly can use anything. Pig can use anything. Legion can use anything. Ghostface can use anything. Demogorgon, Oni, Deathslinger, Executioner, and Trickster can use any add-on they want in the entire game. Most other killers have one specific thing banned. So the Shape, Michael Myers has a Tombstone Piece banned, but can do the Infinite Tier 3 double pink if they wanted to. Hag is a Mint Rag banned. Doctor is Iridescent King band. The King band. Huntress is no Iridescent Hatchet. The Nightmare is still a little bit with some purple, and we still, of course, Spirit and Nurse have not changed. They're your yellow add-ons or below to try to promote some killer diversity. I think this could be super exciting for teams to maybe pull out a killer that isn't as strong but can use some of these stronger add-ons. Our signups, to answer the question in chat, our signups are going to go live today. There will be a room here in just a few minutes in our Discord, and we will be able to have teams start to sign up today and get their teams registered and all that good stuff as well, which is super exciting. Okay, this is the big one, and I guarantee you nobody else is doing this anywhere else, because this is something I kind of came up with, and I think it makes a lot of sense. And I am really excited to do this because I really do think that it's going to promote killer diversity without restricting teams the way that we've done in our past 2 tournaments. So we're going to take a look. In each round of the bracket, teams will have a certain number of blood points that they are able to spend to play the killer of their choosing. Unspent blood points do not carry over from one round to the next. We are not going to talk about the 18 double elimination brackets. There's a lot going on there. We're just going to focus on the 16 team one, and I've got a visual for each of these as well, and the 12 team one. In the 16 team bracket, if it turns into a best of 1, and then a best of 1, and then a best of 3, and then a best of 3. So, the round of 16, and then the quarterfinals, semifinals, finals. In the first and second round, in those best of 1s, teams will be able to spend a total of 8 blood points. In the semifinals, they will have 13 blood points to spend, and in the finals, they will have 13 blood points to spend. It's pretty much the same thing in the 12-team bracket, where when you're in that group stage where you're going to play 2 different teams, you have 8 blood points to spend, and then if you make it out of that, and you're in the semifinals and the finals, you have 13 blood points to spend each round. So what does that mean? You'll have blood points to spend. We'll scroll down just a little bit further. This is how much each killer will cost blood points wise to play them. If you want to play Nurse or you want to play Spirit, it is going to cost you 6 blood points for that set. If you want to play a Hag or a Blight, it'll cost you 5. Pyramid Head, Oni, and Twins will cost you 4. Deathslinger, Huntress, Plague, or Hillbilly will cost you 3. Doctor, Wraith, Demogorgon, Ghostface, Bubba, and the Nightmare will cost you 2. And the Clown, Michael Myers, Trickster, Legion, Pig, and Trapper will cost you 1 blood point. So this creates another level of thinking and how you want to play your killers, basically. Again, you have 13 blood points at a best of 3 series. So in theory, you could play Nurse and Spirit, and now you've got 1 blood point if it goes to a 3rd game where you've got to play one of these lower tier killers. Do you start off by playing maybe an Oni? Top Knot is not banned anymore. It was before, so Oni could be now considered stronger with that. So maybe you start off with Oni, and now you have 9 blood points left, and then you lose that match, and so now you pull out your Nurse. Now you've got 3 points left, but maybe they spent more blood points, and now they have to play one of these super lower tier killers. I think it makes it a lot more fun. I think it also lets teams go ahead and play what they want. The only restriction here is you cannot play the same killer back to back. So if you're playing in a best of 3 series, in the same series, excuse me. So if you're playing your first series, it's just a best of 1, and you play a killer that's, let's say that you play, let's say you play Hillbilly. You can play Hillbilly again in the next series. But if you play in the best of 3 series and you play, let's say it's Spirit in the first game, you cannot play Spirit in the second one. You can play Nurse, you can play anybody else you want, but you cannot play the killer back to back in the same series. I think, again, it causes some interesting things here, because now let's say that, again, you go Spirit twice, or you go Nurse and then Spirit. You've used 12 of your 13 blood points. Now you've got to pull out 1 blood point killer who maybe aren't that very good, even though they've got almost no restrictions on any of their add-ons. The only restrictions in their add-ons down there are Redhead's Pinky Finger and the Tombstone piece for Myers. Otherwise, any of those killers can use any add-on they want. I think it adds on some creativity and some diversity to what the killers will have to do, but also promotes not having teams be restricted on being able to play a certain killer X amount of times. So it'll definitely add some more to it. I think it will make things a lot more fun, and is also unique because we do things our own way at New Generations Gaming, because we are creating the new generation. Sappy, cheesy. That's it. Signups are going to open today. There's going to be a room in our Discord. New Generations Gaming Discord is going to have a room that is going to say signups or team application. Fill out the application. It's going to be more extensive. There's a lot more information on there this time than it has been on our past. And we are looking forward to our tournament again, June 27th and 26th and 27th. It will all be streamed live here. For anybody interested in joining me as part of the cast, we will be having guest casters come in for a couple games each set, instead of me just doing it on my own. So if you're interested in that, please feel free to reach out to me through Discord, through DMs. If you have any questions or concerns or have anything else, like I said, please reach out to me whenever you've got a moment. I'm always happy to chat. Thanks everyone for coming out and watching. I appreciate it. We will see you soon in the fog.